afternoon. I am a couple of minutes early for a change, and that's okay. Hey guys, this is Eileen from Love Angels Light and Eileen Empowering, and we are here for your Friday freebie training session thing. I have an announcement. Isn't that fun? I'm going to be running a masterclass on the 11th of January at 11 a.m. Not at all because I like one. I actually did the numbers because if anyone has known me for a little while, I kind of have a thing for numbers. And I like the numerology behind the numbers. Hey, Pinky. So today's coaching session, today's open coaching, but today I'm looking at letting go of the feeling of being inferior to other people and the flaw of comparing yourself to others. So if you want to hang around and all of that, please do. So on the 11th of January at 11 a.m. Sydney time, I will be running a masterclass over on Zoom. It will not be streamed into Facebook. So if you want to join, it will be free. New year, new plan, new you. Thank you. I actually colored it the other day, and the light in here doesn't show actually how bright it is, but that's okay. So new year, new plan, new you. It's not another New Year's resolution session. It's literally about planning your days, planning your life, and discovering your purpose and living your passion. So how can you expect to change your life and live the way you want to live if you don't actually take action? So it's all about goal setting, it's about mindset, and it's about taking that action to change your world. So that is what that will be about. That's the 11th of January on Zoom. I will be setting up a landing page for that soon, a page for you to go and sign up to it, because once you sign up, you'll get the Zoom link, if that makes sense. All right, today's session is all about letting go of comparing yourself, letting go of feeling inferior to other people, because nobody has the right to make you feel inferior, but you have to choose how you want to feel with the stimulus that is presented to you. Let me just go to my group on Facebook so that I can make sure that I'm in there. Otherwise, this could be a little bit awkward. There we go. I am live in my group. Woohoo! Good news. Good news. The technology gremlins didn't get me today. All right. So the truth is, here's fact number one. We are all inferior to others in some way. Let me explain. Everyone is different, and all of us are better at some things than some people and not at others. I, for example, am not very good at sport. I am inferior to anyone who is good at sport. I do enjoy physical activity on occasion, but I am no sports person. I, on the other hand, am brilliant at helping people really get into who they are and who they want to be. All right? There's a difference between not having all the talents and the skills you wish to possess, and then holding on to the belief that you are fundamentally flawed. You are not flawed. You're just better at some things than others. All right? What happens a lot, or what has happened a lot in my life, is I have felt like other people have that feeling of superiority over me for whatever reason. And it boils down to actually having absolutely nothing to do with them and everything to do with what's going on in here. Now, it could be my experiences, it could be my beliefs about myself, but at the end of the day, my belief is that no one person is better than any other person. And we have the choice to grow ourselves, to build ourselves up. It is our responsibility to build ourselves up to a point where we believe that we are worthy of all the things that we desire. what we tend to do is we actually see the shortcomings that we present to the world without actually seeing the good that we bring to the world as well. And so that's where that inferiority thing comes into it. We are so hard on ourselves that we just don't see where we've done good. So the things that we need to do to actually move forward would be to things like avoid generalizations. You know, it may be true that you are not tall, or I'm not tall. You're not the most beautiful person in the world, but in all honesty, it's a generalization. I'm the most beautiful person in the world, potentially, to my husband. He sees me in a completely different light to the way I see myself so often. So I want you to think about, hey, Tonya, I want you to think about, third time I said it, must be important. What sort of people do you feel inferior to? Successful people, rich people, people who are better than you at work, or, you know, what sort of people make you feel like you're not good enough? For the longest time, a lot of my family made me feel I was not good enough. And it wasn't anything they did. Can you shut the door, please? Maybe not. Oh, 2 boys home. Christmas holidays. School holidays, aren't they fun? The feeling of inferiority, the feeling of being inferior, it often arises from wanting to be like someone else. Who do you want to be like? You are unique. And you need to embrace that uniqueness. Nobody has the gifts and talents that you have. Nobody else comes from the background you've come from to create the magic in your world. So for me, and this is why I've combined this one with the flaw of comparing yourself to others. For me, my life isn't about being inferior or superior to anyone. I am not that person. What it is about, that would be my 6-year-old making all the noise. Oi! You need to be quiet, please. Mummy's on a live. Nope. Good times. Alexi. Shushki. You're unique, and you can never be, there can never be a better you. There can always be a better you, but you can't be like someone else. All you can do is be better today than you were yesterday. My nose is so itchy today. You can't impersonate someone else or be like someone else while also trying to be the true, authentic version of yourself. As soon as you try to be someone else, you send yourself the message that you're not good enough. Hey, Liesl.
Mom,
Yes, my precious.
I'm hungry, but I don't know what to eat.
You're going to have to wait like 20 minutes.
I want something in the fridge.
Do you want some more? You don't need more fruit. You boys already had like 1,000 pieces of fruit.
But Mom, I don't know what I should eat.
Can you shut the fridge while you work it out?
I don't know what to eat.
Mate, I'll help you when I'm finished, okay? They've only eaten 4 times today. I can see why they're still hungry. All right. So we want to avoid trying to be like other people. You just need to focus on being the best version of yourself that you can be. And sometimes we need help to do that. Sometimes we need to get past the past, right? We need to sort of look back and go, you know what? I'm done with that version of me. Oh, Pinky, they are amazing. Today's the first day of school holidays, so I've got them both home until end of January. Which will make doing this very fun. But I'm determined. At least I don't have to do schoolwork with Alex. All right. The next thing that I want you to think about is being realistic. Because sometimes when we are feeling inferior, and it has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with us, we actually need to go behind the feeling and go, okay, so is this real or is it perceived? It's common to fall into the trap of believing that one perceived flaw is causing all of your challenges. And your life won't magically improve in every way because you find a girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever, lose 20 kilos, whichever, or whatever it is, the problem that you perceive to be. Usually that's just the surface level. And the work that I do with people, we go into root cause. We go behind that. I was talking to a client today and she's like, oh, this is my problem. Now, this might be the problem, and it is a problem right now, okay? But what's behind that problem? And what are you actually gaining from having that problem? Now, most people will go, I'm not gaining anything. But you kind of are. If you go behind that problem and you go, okay, well, I'm not moving forward in my business because I'm overwhelmed by how much stuff I have to do. Example. I don't want to update my website because I know if I start updating my website, it's going to take me days and days and days. Now, that is a perception. If I sit down and actually work on my website, I will actually be able to work through my website and get it done pretty quickly. But I look at the list of things I have to do and I go, oh boy, how the heck am I going to get through all of that? But often, if I try and find the right word, often what we perceive to be the problem is not actually a problem. It's just the idea that that's what the problem is. That's what's holding me back. But what if we go behind that problem? What's there? Okay, I want to lose weight. I just can't seem to lose weight. Okay, well, what's behind the weight? I eat too much. Cool. Why do you eat too much? Because food's delicious. Okay. Food is delicious, but why do you eat so much? Like, you could have a smaller amount. I don't want to waste it. Why don't you want to waste it? Actual true conversation I had with someone about a year ago. Why don't you want to waste the food? Oh, because when I grew up, my parents would say to me, if you got to eat everything on your plate, and there are starving kids in Africa who would kill to have this sort of food. Yep, been there. What if there were no rules? What if we just decided to break all the rules? Because rules are something that were put in place. Like, often we're still, as adults, following the rules that were put in when we were kids. Unconsciously. Because that's the pattern. And this is part of the talk I'll be doing at the Women's Summit that I'm doing in January, right? We often follow the rules from years ago because that's just the way things are. That's the way things have always been. And we don't actually think about it. I read a story. Thank you so much, Pinky. I'm so grateful you stopped by. Enjoy your Uber ride. I hope you have a good day, night, whichever it is where you are. Okay, so I was listening to a story or reading a story on Facebook, and it was about this family who always cut the ends off a roast before they put it in the oven, the baking dish to put in the oven, right? And that's the way mum learned to do it. That's the way the daughter learned to do it. That's the way it had been passed down through the generations. You always cut the ends off. Now, one day, one of the kids asked the mum, why do we cut that off? Like, it all fits in the tray. Why do we cut that off? Oh, that's just the way I was taught to do it. So she called her mum and said, Mum, I was just wondering, why do we cut the ends off the roast before we put it in the oven? She's like, well, that's the way I was taught to do it. That's the way my mum always did it. So she rings her mum and goes, hey, Mum, why do we always cut the ends off the roast before we put it in the oven? And do you know what the grandma said, essentially, the mum's mum said? We had to cut the ends off because it wouldn't fit in the tray to go in the oven. But as time has progressed, ovens got bigger, trays got bigger, and so they literally were wasting parts of the roast because it didn't fit in the oven 50, 60 years ago. So why do we continue to carry around this stuff from our past, often generational, when things have changed and they don't apply anymore. We literally have to choose differently. And then we have to break the pattern. And that's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes because it's a pattern of behavior. What do you need to stop doing or feeling? What do you need to stop doing? I keep getting my words around the wrong way. What do you need to stop what do you need to do to stop feeling inferior? Got there. Third time's the charm. What do you need to do to stop feeling inferior? Because like I said, it's not always what you think that is making you feel inferior. There are always things you can do to move your life forward. You can choose to learn something new, to build up your knowledge, to stop essentially feeling inferior. You can decide that you're not going to embody that trait anymore that has always kept you in a box. You could literally say to your friends and family, I don't do that anymore, or I'm not that person anymore. This is the teacher hand. I'm not that person. Wow, attitude. I'm not that person anymore, so stop treating me like I am. Have a conversation with your parents. I did it. I was 26 and I sat down with my parents and went, right, when I was growing up, this is how I felt. This is what happened for me. This is my truth. This is what happened. This is how I felt. And my dad said, all right, well, at that time for me, this is what was going on. And I went, right, Dad, but you were the adult. You were the adult. You know, here's the thing. Line in the sand and go, I'm not that person anymore. From this point on, you treat me as an adult and I will treat you with the respect that you desire or deserve. If at any point that line is crossed and I no longer feel comfortable in this, whatever this is, I will walk out the door and you won't hear from me. Well, that's not very nice, Eileen. I love my dad. No, you're right, Dad, it's not nice. But neither is treating me badly. So there's the boundary. Sometimes we need to reset the boundaries for us to be able to move forward. What you can also do is if you've got a close friend, talk to them about what your best qualities are. This can actually be a real eye-opener. I was doing one of the programs that I've run in the past, and one of my friends said to me, you are amazing at what you do. I've gone, what do you mean? I just do. I don't even think about it. She's gone, no. The changes and transformation that your clients are having because of the work you do, you have to keep doing it. And I'm like, but I just, read a script here, hypnotherapy, right? Do a little parts change or belief change or whatever there, because my mission in my life is to help people rediscover their truth and their passion and their purpose. And if I can help people do that, then that helps me. I love that. I love it when people have that eye-opening experience where they go, oh yeah, that's what I want. When you have a friend list your best qualities, it actually, you kind of sit back and go, I didn't realize that's what you saw in me. If you don't believe them when they say that, ask for examples. It's really hard because we are such critics of ourselves and our features and our qualities. It's hard to be accurate about yourself when you're judging yourself. You need to also control your self-talk. We often are brought up through family situations where we have low self-esteem. Pessimism is normal. Sarcasm, I'm Australian, right? Sarcasm is like the second language. that feeling of being inferior is really impacted by the words you say to yourself. 100%. 100%. Liesl, is she in this group? If she's not, add her and I'll approve it. And then I think she has to sort of want to join as well. I don't think it's automatic. I don't know. What words, when there's no one else around, or when you do something that you realize is a mistake, using the term loosely, when you do something that kind of confirms that old pattern, what words do you say to yourself in those moments? Because it's in those moments where we're confirming that inferior belief, or we're confirming that old view of ourselves. And that's where we need to break the state. Thank you so much, Liesl. This has sort of been almost a series of confidence and stuff. Like 2 weeks ago, last week, and this week, it's all trying to build you up to be more confident and be more aware of where your head's at. You 100% forgive your mistakes at all times. So when you do catch yourself saying something that you don't believe about yourself, or you don't want to believe about yourself anymore, switch it around. Say the opposite. But affirm the opposite as well. You can say things that support the belief that you're inferior, or you can be your own best cheerleader. It's your choice. You get to choose how you speak to yourself, and the way you speak to yourself will then teach others how to treat you. It's part of that boundary setting when I love my boundaries. This is always my boundaries, right? It's, the way you treat yourself and the way you accept other people treating you is all about how you feel about yourself. Like, you are literally constantly teaching people you are so much better these days than when we first met. You've come so far. It's been amazing watching you grow. Focus on your victories. There are things that you successfully accomplish each and every day. Like, every single day you do something that is amazing. And for a mum of a newborn, sometimes that something amazing really is getting up and having a shower, or getting up and keeping a baby alive all day. I say it a little facetiously, but with Ethan, he wasn't a sleeper. We didn't get much sleep at night, and I had to get up I had to get up in the morning because I had an older baby. I couldn't just, lay about all day. Focus on the victories. Don't focus on the list that didn't get done. Focus on the things that did. This morning I was interviewed for the Women's Summit that I'm part of in January, and that was pretty cool. That was super amazing to actually be interviewed by someone else. I am about to record the actual session for that summit, and I've had a client session. I've had 2 boys at home wanting food constantly because they're growing boys. I could look at the recording that I haven't got to yet for the last 3 days. 3 days I've been trying to do this recording. I could look at that and go, oh, you're the worst person in the world. Oh, you'll never get the things done that you need to get done. But it's absolute bull. It is. It's such rubbish. If you try and tell yourself that you never do something, let's look behind that and look for the truth. All right? It's like people who go, I'm never successful. Are you not though? Look for the truth. Look behind it and go, well, I successfully washed my hair today. Okay. I had a shower before 9 o'clock today. Look at that for success. Getting to work on time or remembering your friend's birthday, they are worthy accomplishments. That is so true too, Tonya. It's so hard sometimes to forgive yourself. But if it was one of your friends doing the exact same thing, you would forgive them in a heartbeat. Right? So why is it good enough for other people but not good enough for yourself? You need to actually acknowledge the good things that you do. You need to actually give yourself a pat on the back for the things that you have been successful with during the day. And you know what? When at the height of my chronic knee injury, my chronic pain issues and all of that, I would literally be I was in a world of a world of depression and not really coping and all of that, and couldn't do anything. I was in so much pain every single day because so much pain I couldn't do anything. And I'd get to the end of the day and go, oh, such a failure. And that it's really hard when you have chronic illness, chronic injuries, chronic pain, any of that stuff. It's really hard because in your head, you are comparing yourself to the person you were yesterday or a bunch of yesterdays ago. You're comparing yourself to the person who used to be able to do all of the things. I used to, before I hurt my knee, I could run 5K. I could just going for a 5-minute walk up the street was fine, right? Self-sabotage is so not an option. It's so true, right? But the problem is that if you are in the midst of chronic pain and chronic injuries and illnesses and all of that, you have new parameters. You literally are physically incapable of achieving the things that you used to achieve, but you look back and you go, but I used to be able to do that. And it's almost like you have to, that line in the sand, put the line in the sand and go, my life is different. These are now the boundaries that I have. So what can I do? And it's really hard. It's really hard some days to kind of go, okay, what can I do today? So when I was going through treatment, I published a book because I could sit on the computer and type up a story. I published Cranky Pants, The Adventures of Christina Cranky Pants, which I thought I had here somewhere. I do. There we go. I published this one, right? It's still on Amazon. It's still on Lulu. Right? I published this while I was in the height of knee issues and chronic pain, chronic issues with my knee, right? What can you do? Yeah. But line in the sand. I did that. What else can I do? I can write articles on a online thing and get paid for them. That's what I can do. Right? There are always things you can do. I can go and have a bath for an hour because I can, because I'm worthy, because I'm allowed, because I allow myself, I give myself permission. And if I'm having a bad knee day, I will give myself permission to feel that feeling and go, okay, well, today I'm not going for a run. Still today, I'll say to my husband some days, I'm having a bad day. This is what I can do today. And you have to work on that. And you go, okay, I may not be able to go on the bushwalk that I want to go on, but I can do this. Realize that other people are not focusing on what your shortcomings are. Do you know how many people go about looking at other people and going, oh my God, they're looking at me? Do you know one of the things I hated about going to the gym was that feeling of other people being able to see me while I exercise, because I'm not the fittest person in the world. I hated going to the gym until the last gym that I joined. And I loved going to the gym. I loved going to the gym. I love strength and conditioning classes. I love being able to lift weights and go, this is both of my children, right? The thing is, 100% Tanya. The thing is, people are not paying attention to you at all. The truth is, people are usually so wrapped up in their own stuff that they can't even see you. It's like we're all walking around with blinders on. We've all got the tunnel vision going on, and we're all wrapped up in our own worlds. It's like when people go, I saw you at the shops the other day. Oh, did you? They go, yeah, I waved at you and you didn't wave back. I'm like, I probably, number one, didn't see you. If you yelled out, I probably didn't hear you because I'm a bit deaf. And I was in a rush. I was, I've got to do this, 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 and this. Didn't see you. And if other people kind of think anything about me as I'm racing about doing my own thing, good on them. Good on them. It's easy to prove to yourself that people are not thinking about you at all. Because if you go to the mall or go to the stores and act in an unusual way for you in each store, limp in one, stutter while in another, you get the idea no one actually notices and reacts. Except for kids. If you're walking funny, the kids will notice. Kids are little observers. They will go, Mummy, why is that person, and it's always loud, right? Why is that person walking like that, Mum? Yeah. Shh. It's rude to point and yell out. Shh. I used to be the person with the limp. People are usually too busy with their own issues to notice yours. And once you realize that, it frees you up to just start to be you. If you focus on your strengths, control your self-talk, and understand that no one actually is noticing you, then things will start to feel a little better. Now, should I go into comparing yourself or should I keep that for next week? Next week's Christmas. How did that come about so fast? The idea that you're comparing yourself to other people. For me, it used to be a common thing. And now it's just so foreign. It's so foreign because I'm so wrapped up in being me and being the best version of myself. And for me, the competition has always been between me and the person I was yesterday. You know, you go through life and what's the point of comparing yourself to someone else? Yeah, that's true too. That's true too, Tonya. Theodore Roosevelt once said, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do you really want to steal? Do you want your joy to just go? If you're comparing yourself to others, chances are there's a lack of contentment in your own life. There's a disconnect happening in your own life. And you're sort of looking at grass is always greener. The grass is always greener on the other side. And when you're comparing yourself to others, you're only seeing it from the outside. You actually don't see what's going on for them on the inside. It only takes a moment to find yourself wishing you had someone else's career, body, house, or vacation, right? The problem is the lack of information. They might have the house that you want. Yeah, 100%, until you get to the other side. Yeah, exactly. They might have the perfect house, but they might be in debt to their eyeballs. They might be treading water financially to be able to afford the things that they have. You don't know. Right? You know, if someone else has the perfect body or the most beautiful hair, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what struggles they've had to get to that point. I told my husband I was going to cut my hair to about here. Yeah? It'll be like more than half my hair off. Yeah, my husband and 2 little boys freaked out. No, Mummy, you can't cut your hair. It takes a lot of work sometimes to have long hair. The brushing, the washing, like so much shampoo. If your life isn't moving forward and you're finding yourself comparing yourself to others, then book in for one of my free calls. Book a free call with me. Because if we can help you rediscover the direction you want to go in and help you set up a plan to get there, then that will help you to be less in comparison and shiny object syndrome and more in the act of actually getting to where you want to be. Guys, I'm still offering some free calls. If you want to book in a free call with me, do it now. I have like limited space before Christmas. I do have space between Christmas and New Year's. I'm not shutting down, essentially. I am, but I'm not. If it's important, you want to book in, then book in. That's about it. Send me a message and I will book in. I'm going to do the rest of this comparison thing next week. Have a good week. What day is today? Friday. It's Friday. So I'm live tonight on the Love Angels Light page with Michael from Readings by MJD. If you would like to join us, remember to treat yourself with compassion and respect in everything you do. And remember to be authentically, unapologetically you. All right. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you later.